everyone, and welcome back to the Dwarven Tavern. I am Dr. Jeff Goins, your host, and today we are going to be looking at the first of two bestiaries from Pathfinder for the second edition game, of which I'm very excited. So, a bestiary is a compendium of beasts and bests, and this one is also a compendium of beasts. First off, the artwork, it's Pathfinder. It is Paizo, and Wayne Reynolds is pretty standard fare for exemplary artists. He does a lot of the artwork for Paizo and other things as well, and I love his work. With the exception, there's one little thing that he does that just irritates me no end. Is he has a tendency to point the teeth of creatures inward, and like there's this little vanishing point in the middle of their mouths, and all their teeth point to it. He doesn't do that with all his artwork, but it happens enough that it bugs the crap out of me. Even though his artwork is fantastic in every other respect, the weapons, they look real. I mean, they look like they could actually exist, and the armors and stuff and so forth and so on. He's great. He's a fantastic artist. I just love his work. If he did like the teeth of this troll on the cover is this is a very, very happy exception to his general rule of the teeth, but the teeth on the Hydra up here, they're all pointed inward, and I'm sure it's one of those things that, like, Frank Frazetta said that he didn't do proportions because the knuckles. Well, you can see it here in the picture. I mean, these knuckles are bigger than these knuckles because this one is about to connect. It looks bigger because your emotions make it that way. This could be one of those things. But overall, the artwork is fantastic. Wayne Reynolds is a great artist. Do not get me wrong. I just don't like that one thing about his art, and that's nobody's perfect, I reckon. So let's take a look at some of these creatures. They have said before, it has been said before many, many times, even by some of the dudes at Paizo, that Pathfinder was like D&D 3.75, which not a thing wrong with that. They took and they fixed some serious flaws with the game. And they made a few of their own, but not many. So just as an example here, there is a group of creatures in 3.5 D20 system called the Inevitables. And they are the, how can I say it, the enforcers of inevitability. They protect the laws of the universe. Like, they come after people who cheat death or break oaths or other such things. So here they're called axiomites. Same thing, same creatures, roughly, but they've just transported the Inevitables from 3.5 to the new Pathfinder game. That's all there is to it. Which, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't even really consider it. Is it plagiarism? Is it ethical? Well, not if you do it with, not if you do it legally, I guess. There are many times, I don't know. It's a weird ethics thing that I'm not going to get into, because I like what they've done. I mean, they took creatures from D&D and made them cool. I mean, all the creatures, they're roughly the same, like the Algolthu, right? They are a species of creatures that are basically the aboleth. The aboleth, the scum, or Scoom, the Algolthu Master, the Veiled Master. Those are all creatures of the. They belong to the same species as the Aboleth. So yeah, I mean, it's they've improved everything, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I like the way they've done it, so I don't consider it wrong. I approve, regardless of what it is. The Arboreal Warden. Arboreals are guardians of the forest. They're called Ents in popular literature. They're called Treants or Treants in D&D. Then you have angels and archons and demons and devils. The Barghest, which the Barghest in demonology, which of course hails from Christianity, the Barghest was a demon dog, and the number of eyes it had determined on its power. And sometimes it walked headless, and sometimes walked with backwards pointed feet. Sometimes it was just on fire, all of which were just the ways it had chose to appear. Bloodseekers are sturges in the other game. I mean, there's an analogy for just about everything. It's pretty standard fare. The boulette is actually not an analogy. It's actually the boulette, which is the land shark, as we know. Bunyips, and if they have a name like the bunyip, the bunyip is a creature of lore. It is a creature of folklore. So you can use terms like bunyip and leprechaun and pixies and sprites and so forth. The purple worm are in here. I mean, it is replete with proper illustrations. The cyclops, that's a cool thing. Demons and daemons, or demons, astrodemon, which is a horrifying thing. It reminds me of the movie Leviathan, where everything turned into an angler fish. Deep gnomes, otherwise known as the Sverfneblin. Does it say Sverfneblin? Rock wardens? Yes, Sverfneblins. So they used terms, and they did them better, because all of the creatures are just a little bit different. The illustrations are fantastic, and even though they're basically the same as the 3.5 creatures, they have changed them to be cooler. Which I really threw a curveball to my players not too long ago by throwing Pathfinder creatures at them in a battle instead of the Pathfinder analogs at these players. So they thought they had them pegged, but alas, they did not. They have a listing of dinosaurs. I'm just going through here looking at all the cool creatures because it's what I do. Doppelgangers. Yeah, it's Doppelganger. Then it's got the dragons, which blue and green, and of course all the respective colors. I think they're all very adequately portrayed. Drakes, which the difference between a drake and a dragon, and one of the differences is not one can kill you and one cannot, because they can both eat you. It has a large section on the Duragar, which I think is great, because like the Drow for the elves, the Duragar are for the dwarves. The black elves with the white hair, and the gray dwarves. And if you want to pronounce it Drow, you may. It really, honest to shit, doesn't matter to me, and it shouldn't matter to you. And if you judge me based on the fact that I pronounce it Drow, then you can find somebody else to watch. I don't give a shit. It's got air, elementals. And they all, in the artwork for them, it's really good. Really, really well done. Even the genies. The genie, the Janai, the Jan are all four elements, of course. The Afridi, the Merid, the Shaitan are genies from the plane of Earth. The genie, D-G-I-N-N-I, or D-J-I-N-N-I, are actually from the plane of air. The Ifrit are from the plane of fire. And the Merid are from the plane of water. And they're all very magical. Ghosts are listed: ghouls, hill giants, frost giants. I mean, these dudes look formidable. And it's the thing that I said with the music being immersive. For movies, the same is also true for books and illustrations. The Gimmerling are shapeshifting fae who, if you watch, well, I can't tell you because it's a secret. There's a movie that just came out, and it was made in Ireland about a thing, and it had, in the end, it was an actual fae where you were thinking it might have been something else. I mean, it led you to believe that one thing was the cause the whole time, and then at the end, it proved to be something far more sinister, and it did a really good job. And it was undoubtedly a Gimmerling, or Jimmerling, depending on how you do the GI thing, GIF or GIF. And, the goblins. So unfortunate that I don't like the Paizo goblins, because that's their mascot. So that's unfortunate that I really can't stand it. But it's got all the classic things that I hate. It's got the Scrappy Doo thing, and then it's got the inward the Wayne Reynolds inward pointing teeth thing, and all the things that I really, really dislike. It has all those elements. I don't like Scrappy Doo, and I don't like inward pointing teeth. It's like a lamprey kind of a thing. But I'm not going to take away any axes from the book, because that is my own preference and it's my own opinion, to which I am privy, and rightfully so. Yeah, and it's got a lot of things. Now, how the creatures work in this book, it has a number of tags. Like let's take the night hag, the Ennis. And it has a number of tags. It is chaotic evil. I mean, just from a glance, you can see it's chaotic evil. It's large. It is a hag and a humanoid subtypes. It has perception is 15 plus 15. It has dark vision, so it will see you. It speaks Aklo, Common, and Jotun, or Jotun, Jotunheim, right? Giants and hags and such. It has a list of her skills, acrobatics, athletics, deception, diplomacy, intimidation, and stealth. It has a list of strengths of its abilities. It gives a list of character-like abilities, and it does so for all these creatures. It doesn't just give you an average. They get plus 6 to strength, plus 4 to dex, plus 4 to con, plus 1 to intelligence, plus 4 to wisdom, and plus 3 to charisma. So they are just superior in every way, which is why they're such a threat. Their armor class, their fort, ref, and will saves, their hit points, their resistances. They have a physical, except for bludgeoning. So you hit them, you're going to hit them with a mace or a flail of sort. And they have a speed of 40 feet. And it tells their attacks, their melee attacks. They have special attacks, which takes 2 actions, which is bonds of iron. They can cause a cage built of iron fingernails to spring out of nothingness at a range of 30 feet. So it's like they do this to the ground or whatever, and their fingernails come up and they're made of iron, which is horrifying. And they can change shape, which requires them to concentrate. It's an occult spell, it's a polymorph, and it's a transmutation. So very, very specific, so you can counter it in a very specific way. And then they have rend, which is a claw, which is what the damage type. And of course the night hag is a different creature. I was remiss a little bit earlier. I was mistaken when I said the night hag and the Annis hag are the same. They are not. And it's interesting. This is really interesting. I just read this for the first time. Some believe that hags possess no true form or body of their own, but instead manifest from society's fear of aging. That no known male hags exist has also puzzled scholar, but perhaps this is another way in which hags mock society by representing themselves as awful stereotypes of elderly women. So it is very possible that these creatures are entirely asexual or androgynous, multiples of whatever. They may not even be biologically compatible with people or humanoids. They might just be entirely from spirits. But they appear as old women because traditionally in a medieval society, old ladies, crones, were the least respected, most reviled, most disliked, just because of that whole, male thing. And so, it's, makes very much sense that if someone wants to be scary, it'd be a scary old hag, because the most bad things were spoken of them, of old ladies in the old days. And so they know that, and they use that to their greatest benefit. And it goes on, hellhounds, etc., etc. I like the way that the creatures are presented. The Mimic, the Minotaur, Ogres, the Ogre Glutton. Wow, that's a big boy. The Ogre Boss, the Ogre Warrior. Azurite War Boss, that one is. And they've presented old things with new things attached. For instance, the ogre. The simplest of ogres, the ogre warrior, 3rd level creature, or 3rd tier. The ogre glutton is a just that. It's taken feeding to a horrific extreme, like your average Walmart shopper. Sorry, that was mean, and I'm sorry. The ogre boss. In ogre society, might makes more than right. It makes the rules. I'm the biggest, so I'm the boss. As one might say, if one were for Glenfordshire. I don't know. The strongest or most violent ogre in a family is invariably that family's boss, much like in Mafia society. Well, I'm just slamming everybody today. I'm sorry. And then it's got orcs, war chiefs. The orcs are green-skinned brutes. It takes, it makes a number of subclasses and advancements as well, presents them in their own separate heading. And, oh my, that's a horrifying dude. The Qualant. The Quillant. It reminds me very much of the Slender Man. I think it's probably what it is. 3-armed, 3-legged monster, has no discernible eyes, nose, ears, or mouth, and no visible means of ingesting food. Its limbs are distributed so evenly across his body that it is all but impossible to tell which way the creature is oriented at any given time. Few who witness the Qualant linger on its alien looks for long enough, as the most pressing concern quickly becomes the invasion of their minds as the Qualant sows doubt, sorrow, and rage. So this very much is like the Pathfinder version of the Slender Man. Their creatures, they're great. Just in the artwork, I mean, the stats themselves are not horribly different. Like an orc. Okay, let's take a look. The orc is in the O's. Okay, the Orc Brute, the Strength +3, Dex +2, Con +3, Intelligence -1, Wisdom +1, and Charisma 0. They have 15 hit points, which is a lot more than your 3.5 orcs have an average of 5 hit points. So yeah, the Orc Brutes they're badder, they're bigger and badder, and that's the way it is with most of the creatures. So this is another 5-acts book because it is just so masterfully done. It's very well done, and it goes for $49.99. It's $50 worth of hating your characters, your players, and it's just very well done. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. The artwork's great, the presentation, the organization of it is great. I mean, all the criteria that I originally looked for when I first started doing reviews way back when it holds true for this book. It's very well organized and distributed. The creatures are inventive and creative and original, even if they're not, if you know what I mean. They put a different spin and made them their own. So that is Pathfinder Bestiary 1, 2nd edition. Pick one up because you got to have it if you want to kill your players. I mean, you can kill them with traps and other things, but monsters are more fun. And on that pleasant note, I would like to say that I am Dr. Jeff Goins, and I am Dr. Jeff Goins, wishing you for wanting nothing but adventure. Okay, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to try it again on behalf of the entire cast and crew of the Dwarven Tavern. I am Dr. Jeff Goins, your general host. We all of us here at the Tavern wish for you to want for nothing but adventure. And at first I feared everything in this book, and then I charged. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.